I'm utilizing my First Amendment right to share what I believe to be the truth and leads that help us get close to the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk on September 10th, 2025. Why I quit TPUSA. I truly believe that there has been a massive worldwide manipulation of the Christian faith surrounding the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This strategy was used to weaponize people's faith in Jesus against themselves in order to make people believe a specific narrative. I will call this the all things are possible narrative. This is the narrative that the current Turning Point USA has pushed relentlessly. They want you to believe Tyler Robinson was the lone shooter. They want you to believe that Charlie's bones were so healthy and had a spine like Superman that his neck stopped a .30-06 rifle and was a miracle that no one else was killed. They don't want any footage from Utah Valley University to be seen, and they have done everything they can.
What's your opinion on the release of the Epstein files? What do you think is actually going on?
Well, I think they got to make this right. We as the American people deserve to have every Epstein file released with no redactions whatsoever, period. Right. They got to make it right. And we, the American people, ran on transparency. We deserve to see the entire client list. Yeah. Every document the government has regarding the Epstein files, we, the American people, should have on an easy-to-access website immediately, in a very, very quick fashion. I'm pushing for that both privately and publicly, just so you know. Yeah. Secondly, there probably are a lot of destroyed.
Explosive new data from a former TPUSA member just exposed Erika Kirk in the wildest way possible. Not only has her behavior since Charlie's passing been seriously questionable, but her ties to Epstein have been raising eyebrows too. Right now, sources are claiming there's a leaked audio call that allegedly unmasks her as an Epstein recruiter, and this was reportedly happening even after she joined TPUSA. Take a listen, because all of this is coming back to the surface fast. It all reignited after a former TPUSA member, Mason Lemmy, took to his socials to blow the lid off the organization and its new leadership under Erika Kirk. And if that wasn't enough,
setting up a girl to talk to Erika Kirk. Or allegedly Erika Kirk. Allegedly Erika Kirk.
Hello? Hey, what's up? I talked to Jeffrey, and I'm going to his house tomorrow morning, and I'm taking my son. He's gonna set something up for you now.
Well, like, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow morning when I go to his house about it.
How much, like, would I get paid? Last time?
Talk to him. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and then I'll bring you in the next day and talk to him about it.
I just want to go find you.
lately there's been a wave of videos and opinions claiming that Erika's life is now being targeted. Just last Saturday, on April 26th, she was filmed being rushed out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner after a gunman allegedly opened fire in a reported attempt on President Trump's life. At a TPUSA event in Georgia, which Andrew Colt spearheaded, they addressed how Erika couldn't even show up because her safety was at serious risk. According to Mason Lemmy, these stories are allegedly being staged to manipulate the public into feeling sorry for Erika and to make people forget about her alleged ties to the disgraced Epstein. Candace Owens backed this up hard, claiming she had solid proof that the threats Erika's team keeps pushing are nothing but social media propaganda, according to Candace's sources. The real reason Erika skipped that TPUSA event in Georgia had nothing to do with safety. Reports say the turnout was basically non-existent, close to zero. And this kind of media manipulation is reportedly one of the main reasons Mason Lemmy walked away from Turning Point USA for good. But he didn't stop there.
Those of you wondering why I don't have really flowing, long, blonde hair right now. So I'm going to address it right at the front. Mr. Vice President, I'm on stage here instead of our friend Erika Kirk.
That's right.
Because unfortunately, she has received some very serious threats in her direction, which is terrible. It's a terrible reflection on the state of reality and the state of the country.
He laid out a few more points that are making conservatives turn their backs on TPUSA and Erika Kirk. First, the Arizona State University situation. According to Mason, while Erika was running operations at ASU, she allegedly held a secret, unregistered meeting, the kind that never appears on any official schedule, gets no announcement, and wants absolutely no witnesses. Except there was one. Someone leaked a video of Erika inside that meeting, reportedly discussing whether the U.S. should go to war with Iran. That was not casual conversation. That was a serious discussion that had no business happening off the record, behind closed doors, or without the university's knowledge. That secret meeting reportedly triggered a formal investigation and a lawsuit. And yet, Erika Kirk is still the face of TPUSA. Then there's Arkansas. In early March, Erika showed up at the University of Arkansas alongside Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Smiles, photo ops, the whole shebang. But exactly 1 week later, the university released a statement cutting ties with Turning Point USA entirely. And here's the part that really got people talking. That same statement included a claim reportedly from a 5-year TPUSA member at that university that Turning Point leadership had been weaponizing Charlie Kirk's name. They were allegedly telling people things like, Charlie would have wanted this, sprinkling his memory into their demands like seasoning, using his legacy to emotionally pressure people into compliance. And that's exactly why they had to cut ties. Then in April, it got worse.
So they were hoping, with an announcement that the Vice President of the United States was going to be attending, that it was a guarantee that they would be able to peel off something like 15% of the student body to attend. But actually, they needed even less than that, because to make matters easier for them, they also opened the tickets, the free tickets, to the general public. So forget having to get 15% of the student body to sign up. They just needed generally 7,000 people in the area that wanted to support MAGA and or the rock star widow, Erika Kirk.
Another TPUSA chapter president at the University of Georgia, Carolyn Maddox, resigned. Her statement was direct and cutting. In her own words, Turning Point USA was founded to promote truth, fight for conservative values, encourage independent thought, and defend free speech. However, it became abundantly clear following our event on April 14th that TPUSA's mission and purpose have been lost along the way. In light of this, I am resigning from my position as president of the Turning Point USA chapter at the University of Georgia. Charlie spent his life fighting for truth, and I do not believe he would stand for the blatant dishonesty now being spread by the organization that he built. According to Carolyn, the new TPUSA is now laser-focused on one thing: numbers. And that tracks perfectly with the now infamous recording where Erika said everyone grieves differently, then turned around and started talking about merch sales and hat orders during Charlie's memorial. Erika also told her team that nobody was losing their jobs, but the firing started anyway. Aubrey Leck and several other TPUSA employees were let go, directly contradicting what Erika had promised on that very call. For Mason, that was just one more piece of what he's calling a pattern of mass deception inside the organization. Now factor in the attacks on Candace Owens and anyone else who dared to publicly question what was happening inside TPUSA. The message being sent:
Kirk visited Arkansas and was joined by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Keep that brief interview in mind for future reference. 1 week later, the TPUSA chapter at the University of Arkansas announced that they unanimously decided to completely disassociate from Turning Point USA and would move forward as the Young American Revival at UARK. Their chapter president stated, quote, "After discussion with my executive board, we have come to the unanimous decision to dissolve our affiliation with Turning Point USA and rebrand our..."
Pray with one another, be there with one another, be soft with one another. Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that. Weddings and funerals bring out the weirdest side in people.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off
both internally and externally was crystal clear. Fall in line or become the next target. Candace wasn't the first, and she almost certainly won't be the last. But arguably the most explosive point Mason raised involves the circumstances around Charlie Kirk's passing. He's claiming the physics simply don't add up, that the way the bullet allegedly traveled is being described in a way that is, in his words, unrealistic. He's pointing directly at Andrew Vett, accusing him of being dishonest about whether the bullet passed through, and framing Charlie as someone who, even in his final moments, shielded the people around him. Heroic optics? More like convenient optics. And now people are reportedly coming forward saying it wasn't even a gun involved at all. Meanwhile, Matthew McCoy walked away without a scratch, without answers, and without anyone asking the hard questions on record. Mason Lemmy is asking them now, and apparently so are a lot of other people. Whose voice was really on that call? As far as we know, Erika has already been linked to Epstein's inner circle through the Corcoran Group, an organization that reportedly handled real estate arrangements for Epstein across the world.
I don't want anyone to think that job's in jeopardy because your family, if you choose to leave, that's different. I never will, and I promise you, I will make sure that I never allow a point to where you have to leave because we cannot find it.
My name is Aubrey Leitch, and I am the former public relations manager for Turning Point USA, and I was a part of the recent kind of mass termination group at Turning Point, and was let go about 3 weeks ago. And at the time of my release, I was working for the ATK company, which is spokesman Andrew Colbett's private business that contracts out with the Turning Point kind of.
Including on that infamous island, Little St. James. There's also Erika's work with Next Model, whose co-founder Faith Evans reportedly maintained a close friendship with Epstein spanning 4 decades. When you factor in her ties to certain beauty pageants, Romanian angels, and Erika's connection to Gillian Falcon, the picture starts coming together. And the picture coming into focus right now is more extreme than ever. Claims are surfacing that it never stopped. Not with Romanian angels, not with General Busher, not with those beauty pageants, and not with Next Model. Erika allegedly continued operating as a recruiter for Epstein's inner circle, even after her time at TPUSA. And if that's true, that changes everything. Let's slow down and really break this down, because people are glossing over just how deep these alleged connections reportedly go. Start with the Corcoran Group. This wasn't some random real estate firm. According to reports, this was an organization that worked directly and closely to handle Epstein's property arrangements, not just locally, not just nationally, but globally, and on that island. Little St. James, the island that the whole world eventually found out about, the island that made headlines, launched investigations, and had powerful people sweating through their suits.
Is used to weaponize people's faith in Jesus against themselves in order to make people believe a specific narrative. I will call this the all things are possible narrative. This is the narrative that the current Turning Point USA has pushed relentlessly. They want you to believe Tyler Robinson was the lone shooter. They want you to believe that Charlie's bones were so healthy and had a spine like Superman that his neck stopped a .30-06 rifle and was a miracle that no one else was killed. They don't want any footage from Utah Valley University to be seen, and they have done everything they can to backtrack Charlie's stances on many topics, especially Israel and Iran. If you question or push back against any of this narrative, according to TPUSA and many others who I will mention in this letter, you are a crazy and demonic conspiracy theorist that hated Charlie.
Erika's name has been linked to this group, not loosely, not through some 6 degrees of separation stretch, directly. Then you have Next Model, a modeling agency, co-founded by Faith Evans, someone who reportedly maintained a close personal friendship with Epstein spanning 4 decades. 4 decades. That is not a casual acquaintance. That is not someone who bumped into Epstein at a party twice. That is a long, deep, sustained connection that spanned the rise and fall of one of the most controversial figures in modern history. And Erika's professional fingerprints are reportedly all over this organization. Now layer on Romanian angels. This is where things reportedly get even more uncomfortable. Romanian angels has been cited repeatedly by people raising questions about Erika's alleged network of connections. General Busher's name has been pulled into this conversation too. And when you start connecting these dots, the modeling world, the real estate world, the political world, the pageant world, a very specific and very troubling shape starts to emerge. And speaking of pageants, those beauty competitions connected to high-profile names and powerful circles, Erika has reportedly been tied to those too. Think about what beauty pageants have historically represented in the context of Epstein's alleged network. Think about what access they provided.
Replied to one of Erika's tweets by saying, "At Erika Francvi, gorgeous as always." A few hours later, she then tweeted, "Why did at Erika Francvi just send me this?" Laughing emojis, and there is a photo which says, "This Valentine's Day, I am going to touch your butt." Jillian posted this tweet.
Think about who was moving through those spaces and why. And now ask yourself, what was Erika's actual role in all of this? Was she just an employee, a bystander, or was she, as some are now claiming, an active participant in something much bigger and much darker than anyone inside USA ever admitted publicly? Then there's Gillian Falcon. Erika's reported ties to Gillian Falcon have been flagged by multiple people, now raising questions about her inner circle. Every single name that keeps surfacing in connection to Erika leads back to the same world. a world that intersects money, power, access, and Epstein's alleged operations. And here is what makes this whole situation so infuriating to the people now speaking out. TPUSA was supposed to be the organization fighting against exactly this kind of corruption. It was built, according to its own mission statement, to promote truth, defend free speech, and push back against the kind of elite power structures that prey on everyday people. Charlie Kirk built something that millions of young conservatives believed in. And now, the very organization carrying his name is allegedly being run by someone with these kinds of reported connections, while using Charlie's memory as a tool for emotional manipulation. Remember what that 5-year TPUSA member said? That leadership had been invoking Charlie's name, telling people things like Charlie would have wanted this to pressure people into compliance. They were reportedly using a grieving man's legacy as seasoning to flavor their demands. That is not honoring someone. That is exploiting someone. And the people closest to Charlie, the ones who actually knew what he stood for, are reportedly furious.
That young man. I forgive him.
But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
Carolyn Maddox said it plainly in her resignation letter. In her own words, Charlie spent his life fighting for truth, and I do not believe he would stand for the blatant dishonesty now being spread by the organization that he built. That is not a casual critique. That is a direct indictment from someone on the inside who watched it happen in real time and refused to be part of it. And Carolyn wasn't alone. Mason Leamy, a man who was deeply embedded inside TPUSA, walked away too. He isn't just someone with a grudge posting online. He is someone with receipts, with knowledge, with specific claims about specific events that are now being investigated and discussed at a national level. His claim that the physics around Charlie's passing don't add up, that Andrew Vett was allegedly being dishonest about the details, that people are now coming forward saying it wasn't even a gun, these are not small allegations. These are explosive, earth-shaking claims that deserve serious attention. And what about Matthew McCoy? He walked away from that situation without a scratch, without answers, without anyone in a position of power sitting him down on camera and demanding a full account of what happened. Mason Leamy is asking why. Candace Owens is asking why. And now, so are millions of people across the internet who have been following this story and watching the pieces slowly fall into place. Candace Owens, who came forward with claims of having irrefutable proof that the alleged threats against Erika were nothing but manufactured social media propaganda.
I will now read Andrew Colvette's tweet from X on September 20th in its entirety. I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital, ... He said the bullet, quote, absolutely should have gone through, which is very, very normal for a high-powered, high-velocity round. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times, and they always just go through everything. This would have taken a moose or two down, an elk, etc. End quote.
Reportedly faced serious pushback for speaking up. The message from TPUSA's inner circle was clear. Fall in line or become the next target. But Candace didn't fall in line, and neither did Mason, and neither did Carolyn Maddox. And neither did Aubrey Leck and the several other TPUSA employees who were fired, directly contradicting Erika's own promise on that recorded call that no one was losing their jobs. That recording is important because in that same recording, the one where Erika told her grieving team that everyone grieves differently, she also pivoted to talking about merch sales and hat orders during a memorial conversation for the man who built the organization she now leads. Let that sink in for a second. The optics alone should have been enough to trigger an internal review. But instead, people got fired, chapters started cutting ties, universities started walking away, and the whole operation reportedly kept moving forward because the machine needs to keep running, and the machine apparently runs on numbers. Arizona State University, University of Arkansas, University of Georgia. These are not small, obscure institutions quietly slipping away from TPUSA's orbit. These are major universities making public, formal statements, distancing themselves from the organization. The University of Arkansas put,
That's why we had you on. You know about ballistics, you shot bin Laden. What bothers you the most about this investigation?
Thanks for having me, Rob, and good to see you, General Holt.
You too.
A lot of things bother me. It bothers me about this. Nothing in particular. It's not like I'm out there saying big lie or conspiracy or someone did it. I'm just saying I've been in a lot of shootings. I've killed more than a handful of people, and this thing looked shady off the bat. I mean, I've killed people closer than I saw the camera, and I've never seen a shirt move like that. That looks like an explosion to me. Just the fact that no one started doing first aid to Charlie Kirk, they were more concerned about getting SIM cards out of cameras, removing cameras, and then getting him off the X somehow. There didn't seem a lot of concern for his life. It seemed like just clean it up. And then, I mean, I've been told they paved it over a couple days later. And then you get Erika Kirk behind all the razzle dazzle, and she's really quick to forgive the alleged shooter.
Out their statement just 1 week after Erika showed up on campus, smiling for photo ops alongside Sarah Huckabee Sanders. 1 week. Whatever happened in that room, or in those conversations that followed, was apparently serious enough to end the relationship almost immediately. And at ASU, there was that secret, unregistered meeting, the one that never appeared on any official schedule, the one that had no announced agenda, the one where someone leaked a video showing Erika allegedly discussing whether the United States should go to war with Iran, behind closed doors, off the record, and without the university's knowledge. That meeting reportedly triggered a formal investigation and a lawsuit. And yet, Erika Kirk remains the face of TPUSA. How? How does someone with this many reported controversies, this many alleged connections, this many formal investigations and chapter resignations, and university rejections, how do they remain standing at the top of a national political organization? That is the question that everyone from Mason Lemmy to Candace Owens to Carolyn Maddox is now demanding an answer to. And here is the most chilling part of all of this. The people asking the questions are the ones getting targeted. The people speaking out are the ones being painted as enemies. The narrative being pushed to the public, according to Mason, is carefully crafted to make Erika look like a victim, to generate sympathy, to bury the allegations under a wave of emotional manipulation. And if that manipulation is working, then the public is being played. Hard. Could this alleged pattern of behavior, the recruiting, the connections, the reported ties to Epstein's world, could this be exactly why university after university is now rejecting her presence? Could it be that the people running these institutions have seen something, heard something, or been told something that the general public hasn't been given access to yet? Because the timing of these rejections is not random. The language in these statements is not casual. Something is being communicated loudly by institutions that are usually very careful about how they speak publicly. The theories are getting wilder by the day. The dots just keep connecting. And the people who were supposed to stay quiet are no longer staying quiet. This story is far from over. In fact, based on everything surfacing right now, it feels like we are barely at the beginning. Every answer seems to unlock 3 more questions. Every name leads to another name. Every connection points to another connection. And the picture that's forming, it is not pretty. So here's what we need from you right now. Drop everything you're thinking in the comments below. What do you believe? What doesn't add up for you? What piece of this story hit you the hardest? Because your voice matters in this conversation, and we read every single comment. If this had you on the edge of your seat, hit that like button right now. It helps more people find this story and keeps the conversation going. Share this with someone who needs to see it, because this is exactly the kind of information that people are trying to keep off your timeline. And if you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single update as this story continues to unfold. Because trust, it gets even messier. See you in the next one.